is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Last night at the Big A, the defending champs were in town, but the Angels struck early and then provided the knockout punch with the long ball for a convincing 6-1 win. Tonight, the Halos look for another offensive outburst as the heart of the lineup is heating up. Royals and Angels is next.
Always nice to pick up the W when you start a three-game series, especially when the world champions are in town tonight from the Big A on a beautiful night for baseball. Albeit a little bit cooler. It is Game 2 against the visiting Kansas City Royals. Hi, everybody from inside the Big A. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Dubiza. I'm Victor Rojas, and we just pointed out to you the middle part of the order is starting to heat up. Mike Trout started that last week. Albert, over the last couple of games, has gotten even hotter. Couple of home runs last night, and always nice to see him with the long ball. Nice to see him with a smile and producing.
And a bat flip on occasion,
Absolutely.
too. He is squaring up the baseball, Victor, right now. So important for this entire lineup to have their leader, the machine, swing the bat well. And he's getting himself in position, use that lower part of his body to create that leverage, to create the lift on some of these perfect swings these last couple of games. And he's been driving the ball exceptionally far out to left center field. He's even able to hit off-speed pitches, even trying to come inside on a 92-mile-an-hour fastball yesterday from Kennedy. Gets it out to left field over Alex Gordon. So he's driving the ball very well. 22 career home runs against Kansas City for Albert Pujols. Mike Trout with 8 career home runs against Kansas City. And this is an absolute laser beam he hit out. The Jersey boy goes over. Jersey Mike with a home run. He has 4 home runs on the season. Very good batting average against Kansas City. So important to be able to score those early runs for Weaver tonight.
It's nice to see him do it against a very good pitcher, Ian Kennedy, last night. They'll face another one tonight, a tough one in Edinson Volquez, as Jared Weaver will go opposite him on the pitching mound. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return.
Game 2 of the 3-game series against the Kansas City Royals. The Angels with the victory last night, now 9-11 on the season, 4-6 here at home. 2 more games against the Royals tonight and then tomorrow. And a little programming note for tomorrow as a reminder, because the Ducks are playing Game 7 across the way against the Nashville Predators, our game will be on KCOP My 13, 6:30 Angels Live, 7:05 first pitch. That is tomorrow night on KCOP. Jared Weaver about ready to take the mound in game number 21 for the Halos. We mentioned the offense good last night. Talk a little bit about Garrett Richards. Finally picked up his first win of the season. It's funny that he said in his post-game interview essentially what I said last night right before he came out. He was effectively wild, and he was that because you saw a lot of odd swings from the Royals.
Yeah, I mean, and they're a good fastball hitting club, a club that doesn't strike out a whole lot, yet he was able to get strikeouts, some nasty moving fastballs. Slider was real good. I'll tell you what, he might have been a little bit wild, but his stuff was electric last night.
Yeah, Garrett, I should say, ended up walking 5, too shy of a career high for him. Struck out 5, and more importantly, picked up the W, allowing 1 unearned run in his 6 2/3 innings. Let's take a look at Ned Yost's lineup for the Kansas City Royals. They find themselves at 12-7, a game and a half back of the Sox at the start of the day. And it's the same lineup we saw last night. Escobar, Moustakas, and Kane in the top third. Hosmer, Morales, Gord in the middle third. Perez, Infante, and Dyson rounding out the 9 for Kansas City. Jared Weaver making his 4th start of the season. He is 2-0, a 3.12 ERA, 17 hits in 17 1/3 innings. The strikeouts aren't going to be there like they once were. 7 strikeouts, 5 walks, and when he's commanding the 4 quadrants of the strike zone, he's been very effective.
Yeah, so far so good, especially even got 86 miles an hour on his fastball, which is totally irrelevant for Weaver at this particular point because his secondary pitches are so good. But my go-tos for Weaver to be successful is indeed controlling the strike zone. That's using those 4 quadrants with his fastball to set up his secondary pitches and make the hitters uncomfortable. That doesn't mean necessarily knocking them down. Uncomfortable in counts. In other words, fastball counts, breaking balls, and changeups.
Gerard Dyson kind of taking pictures with the camera. He wants to slow down Weaver. He's trying to make sure that his pace is in order.
He wants to see his pitches, the curveball and changeup.
Take a look at the defense tonight. Rafael Ortega in left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield, Yunel Escobar and Andrelton Simmons on the left side. Johnny Givatella and C.J. Cron on the right side. Both of those guys had nights off last night. Carlos Perez behind the plate.
You only expect the amazing when Trout is either at the plate or in the field, but he's made some unbelievable plays with Weaver on the mound. No errors in his last 178 games in center field. For Mike Trout, already 2 outfield assists, 7 last year, which was a career high for Trout.
Last night we had to deal with some threat of rain, some wind, and some cool temperatures. Not a cloud in the sky tonight, although it's going to be cool. 66 degrees as this first pitch is about to be delivered. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, leading things off for Kansas City. Always very aggressive, and he'll take upstairs for ball 1. Escobar last night 0 for 3, drew a walk, hitting .235, has a double, a couple of triples, 6 runs batted in.
Good slider right there again. Breaking pitch and a fastball count, making hitters uncomfortable because he was looking fastball there, got a slider instead.
Shows bunt. There's another breaking ball. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Weaver's last start was Thursday against the White Sox. Picked up the win. Gave up a run on 3 hits and 7 innings of work as this one's skied foul. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks against Chicago. Has a 2-ball, 2-strike count here to start off the game. That's out toward deep left field, hit very well. Ortega racing back, and he'll make the catch onto the warning track and in front of that now famous Jersey Mike sign.
It is a famous one, and you talk about some distance to cover. A center fielder by trade, and this is center fielder making this play. Not even in the picture. Right off the get-go, right at the 390 sign, grabbing himself a sub and making a play. Able to control that baseball before saying hi to Jersey Mike's. He can cover some ground.
There's Mike Moustakas, the third baseman. Caught the inside corner. Moustakas hitting .264, 6 home runs. That leads the Royals. 10 RBIs. 2 walks. And a couple of fly ball outs last night. Kansas City a total of 4 hits last night. Richards allowed 3. Salas gave up 1 in his inning in the third. This one's out towards center field. Hit well as well. Trout racing back. He's at the wall and he can't get it. It's a home run. Moustakas beyond the reach of Mike Trout. Picks up his 7th home run of the season. And Kansas City with a 1-0 lead.
Boy, he almost got to that baseball. .84-mile-an-hour fastball. Moustakas went down and got it, hit it to left center field. See Trout getting back to the wall, tried to time the jump and just barely over his glove. See that leap and that talent he has, the athleticism just beyond his reach.
Kansas City strikes early. Lorenzo Cain takes a strike on the breaking ball. There's a look at the glove and where the ball was. Boy, not by much. Cain, tardy. Great catch by a fan.
We're seeing some good plays defensively already.
And not only that was a rocket into the seats. I think he saved someone else from getting drilled. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's it out to left field. Ortega back, has a beat on it. Well, we've always said that Weaver's a fly ball pitcher. Seen a couple of them tonight already.
That reaction tells you exactly what Weave is thinking at this point. He's got hit hard 3 times already.
Here's the home run that Moustakas hit.
Look how close. Amazing effort. It's unbelievable how high he can get up in that wall. We saw that last year.
Hosmer looks at a strike.
Jesus Montero.
This one out to left center. Trout drifting over. That'll do it for Kansas City. But Moustakas gets the Royals on the board. We'll head to the bottom of the first. 1, 2, 3 coming up for the Angels. Down a run. Mike Moustakas with his 7th home run of the season in the first inning. Take a look at Mike Scioscia's lineup for the Angels. Yunel Escobar leading things off at third base. Ortega back at left. Trout at center. Pujols DHing tonight. He was at first last night. Cole Calhoun back at right. ANDRELTON Simmons the shortstop. CJ Cron at first base. Carlos Perez behind the plate. Johnny Givatella rounding out that starting 9. They take on a 32-year-old right-hander native of Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. His name is Edinson Volquez.
Volquez got a very good fastball, good moving fastball, 92, 97, curveball, changeup, very good start for him so far this year, 3-0. My go-to is to be successful against him is line drive mentality, especially with that cut fastball. He has cut action on his fastball, middle of the field, and patience is a must. He will walk some guys and put yourself into good hitters counts.
13-9 a season ago. 3.55 ERA. Lined out to right field, a base hit to lead off the game. Brings up Ortega. We'll check out the Royals defensively. Gordon, Kane, Dyson in the outfield from left to right. It's Moustakas, Escobar, Infante, and Hosmer around the infield. And then Perez behind the plate.
And Al scored on in left field, arguably one of the better left fielders in the history of the game. 4 times he's won a Gold Glove, most ever by a Kansas City outfielder. Amos Otis won 3, and it's his birthday today.
Yeah, I was just going to
say.
Turns
69 years old. Ayo.
Ayo.
Talk about getting a baseball. He can get a baseball.
Number 26, if I remember correctly.
And that spacious field at that point in the turf.
Ortega will shoot one pass. The drawn in infield, and Moustakas on the left side. So 2 on and nobody out for Trout.
In my Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful, little Luke Bryan. Kick the dust up right away. 2 guys on for the part of the order we talked about in the opening with Mike Trout followed by Albert Pujols. So you get those runners going, taking that extra base, providing some run support for Jared Weaver. Some good swings already, going the other way.
Not wasting any time.
Luke Bryan playing at Stagecoach.
John, a .300 average, 4 home runs and 9 runs batted in. First time Trout's ever faced Edinson Volquez. He does so with a couple of men on. Fastball, you see the running action at 95.
And he's picked up velocity really this year. Always had a good fastball. Now he's rushing up there 95, 97 range.
Drops a breaking ball, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. 5 games, 3 starts for Volquez in his career against the Angels, but he hasn't faced the Angels since 2007. So while that 9.42 ERA against his team looks large, doesn't really matter. Foul back.
Not with the type of pitcher he is now, with such good movement.
Volquez originally in the Texas Rangers organization. Called him Little Pedro back then. Pedro Martinez comparison. Excitable kid, good stuff. At that point, he was known as Edinson Volquez, no N. Showed up in spring training one day and said, "There's always been an N in my name." Eventually became what we know him today as Edinson Volquez.
You throw a 97, you can add a letter or 2.
Trout goes down swinging for out number 1.
It's a pretty good changeup. Circle changeup, bottom drops out. There's about 23% of his pitches are changeup, 24 curveballs, 53% fastballs. 206 strikeouts back in 2008 with the Cincinnati Reds. Though now he says he's a pitch to contact guy.
with 95-mile-per-hour stuff.
Yeah.
Back-to-back singles by Escobar and Ortega to strike out of Trout. Here's Pujols. Got a breaking pitch. No balls in a strike. Albert 4 for 10 in his career against Volquez with a couple of home runs. Multi-homer game last night. 52nd time in his career that he's done that. 26th time that Trout and Pujols have homered in the same game. 0-2. Only the combination of Garrett Anderson, Tim Salmon have homered more together in the same game, 28 times.
Albert didn't like that call, but it got the upper part of the strike zone, a hanging curveball.
Nothing but strikes so far for Volquez. 8 pitches, 8 strikes. Down low. The ball at 2 strikes now. Royals with a run in the first. Moustakas a home run. The Angels trying to get one of those back. That one back, I should say, and add more. Now, Volquez wants to talk with Salvador.
Volquez last year gave up 16 home runs and a little over 200 innings pitched, so he's a guy that doesn't give up many home runs.
It's off to a terrific start, 3-0. Almost 25 innings coming into tonight. 19 hits only allowed and 22 strikeouts.
High energy guy. You can try to throw him off his rhythm if you can when you're in the batter's box. That's a pretty nasty pitch. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Tried to bring back to the outside corner, but just missed, and he wanted it. See where Perez is setting up. Sometimes it's difficult to get a call like that when you're set that far off the outside corner as a catcher, because it gives the illusion that the pitch is off the plate, because the home plate umpire can see the entire plate.
Downstairs, full count.
Tough call for Mike Scioscia. On a 3-2 count with 1 out, especially with Cole Calhoun on deck. Does he send the runners to trust that Albert will put the ball in play, or if it's out of the strike zone, take it?
You got a terrific catcher behind the plate, so you run that risk. Calhoun on deck. Runners take off, and Pujols fouls it off. That was an off-speed pitch.
Fouled it off the body.
Escobar took off on first movement. Ortega had to wait as we take a look at that foul ball.
Ooh, right off the shin area again. We've seen that a lot. Trying to walk it off Adam Nebla. Very good trainer for the Angels out to talk to him. Mike Scioscia now looks like he might come out just to make sure he's all right. Hard to find a tougher player than Albert Pujols. What he played through last year, the last month and a half of the season. Even coming into spring training, everyone anticipated him coming back in the month of May. And here he is.
Yep. He was the one-legged man. Not the one that was on the Dave Letterman show for a long time. Good old Chris Elliott. See if the runners go again, and Volquez will spin around. Volquez last time out, 7 scoreless against the Tigers, picking up the win. It was on Thursday. Runners go, 3-2, a little tapper foul. May have gotten him again.
Another all-speed pitch. little bit of a smile for Albert. Think, okay, you really going back to that same pitch? You know how those pitchers are.
Greg Perez was going to go out and talk with Volquez, give Albert an opportunity to kind of walk it off, and Albert said he was fine. Seven pitches to Albert.
You know, Escobar's not, it doesn't seem like he's getting a great jump here, so it's very important for Albert to make contact. Fonte trying to keep him close.
Again, they're off. This is a chopper up the line. Goes foul. Home plate umpire Mike Everett, the crew chief, he kind of waited to make that call. That's actually his call.
Exactly, it's his call.
Anything before the bag is the home plate umpire's call.
Right down the line to see. Yeah, foul. Again, home plate umpire has that call until it goes by the base.
Pretty smart play by Moustakas. You got Albert, doesn't run well, and he waited till the last second, kind of catching it to the left side to see if that ball would kind of hover over the line. Ball four. So they're loaded up for Calhoun. Right back to the off-speed pitch.
Big moment for Cole Calhoun and the Angels. Very aggressive on the first pitch. Volquez has already shown he will throw something off speed first pitch.
He's been equally as good against lefties as he has against righties. Batting average against is .209, and it's the same for both sides. Infield back looking for the double play ball with one out. Cole skies one on the left side. All you can hope for is that it goes into the seats, and Moustakas backpedals and makes the catch. Two down.
Shortstop,
96-mile-an-hour fastball with some movement. Got underneath it.
So 2 outs, base is still loaded. Here comes Andrelton Simmons. Halos now 4 for 13 on the season with the bases loaded. Andrelton last night 2 for 4. Average at .240. 4 doubles, 4 runs batted in. Escobar at third, Ortega at second, Pujols at first. Breaking ball for a strike.
Quite a few pitches thrown in this inning for Volquez. 17 so far, but that's not something you try to do necessarily. Work counts and get that pitch count up. You want to score early, especially with that bullpen that Kansas City has. He's missed some spots so far. That was supposed to be fastball inside. Ends up away.
You see him kind of just talking to himself on the mound.
Now they get the good ones early before they settle in. Volquez in this inning so far has missed some spots. He doesn't look comfortable looking into Salvador Perez for the sign.
One pitch. Sailed inside. We saw that certainly last night in Kennedy's plan, specifically against Trout and Pujols. Really running that fastball in, or trying to run that fastball in. Kennedy missed twice against Albert.
Well, the infield of Kansas, they play straight up on almost everybody.
Yeah. 2-1 to Simmons. Held back. They mentioned last night that the Royals do not shift a whole lot. They'll play their outfield as they're playing them now. Although it seems like they're a little bit more shallow, especially Kane and Dyson in right, or pardon me, in center and right respectively. Playing very, very shallow. Two now. This one's out toward center and playable for Kane. So the Angels, I think they have wasted an opportunity. They load him up with one out, get nothing out of it. We'll head to the second, 1-0 Kansas City. Bottom of the first, loaded them up, but the Angels could not capitalize. So it's 1-0 Kansas City as we start the second. Forget tomorrow, Game 7 here on Fox Sports West. Predators coming into town.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. The Ducks have had a number of those Game 7s at Honda Center, looking for their stars to take control. Getzlaf, Perry, Kessler. They got to score early. Get the crowd into the game.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kendrys Morales. Kendrys 8 for 14 in his career against Weaver. 1 home run. Popped up. Escobar couldn't find it. Now does. Still can't find it. Simmons going out. Doesn't matter. Ortega makes the call and the catch. And had it really not been for Escobar being in the way, Simmons probably would have just caught it.
Well, he is the 4th outfielder. Simmons, he covers more ground than anybody I've ever seen in that shortstop position. Runs into Escobar, but Ortega wisely tracks the baseball, brings it home. He looks over like, hey, what are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing here?
He said, hey, I'm the outfielder, not you guys. You guys play infield.
Like the Angels version of Dancing with the Stars or something.
You should be on that one time.
Yeah, shouldn't I though?
Yeah.
Said no one ever. There's Alex Gordon. Breaking ball for a strike. Gordon, the left fielder, hitting .234 with a couple of home runs, 5 runs batted in. It's funny, aside from Kendrys and his numbers against Jared, really isn't anybody that stands out that's had a lot of success against Weaver coming into tonight.
Reason why? That pitch. Kansas City can hit a fastball. We saw that in the World Series last year, where power fastball after power fastball from Mets pitchers, and they were on it. They have a tougher time staying back. Here's a good curveball at 69 miles an hour out in front. Hips are open, trying to keep his hands back, unable to do so. They are really good on fastballs, though.
As a team, they're 4th in the American League in average, 9th in on-base percentage, 7th in slugging. Currently 9th in runs scored. Fastball away, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That said, they have the second best staff ERA at 3.21. The Angels not too shabby at 3.51.
Just above the upper part of the strike zone. And the starting staff, for the most part, has been excellent.
(3-2) got him looking. Down goes Gordon, 2 outs. Little front door fastball.
Showed that earlier today on the pregame show how important that little 2-seam fastball is from Weaver to set up his other pitch. This fastball looks like a ball initially, then runs back and catches the upper part of the strike zone at 82. No doubt a strike. 2-seam fastball. Gordon thinks it's a ball, but it runs back. Nice job once again by Carlos Perez framing that pitch.
Salvador Perez at the plate. Breaking ball, first pitch. Perez, 262 average. Had a 1-for-4 game yesterday, picking up his team leading 14th RBI. And he rips one out to left field. Ortega was shading that way. That would go off the wall. Ricochets by Rafi. Did Perez miss first base? Kind of took a weird angle. Maybe it's because the ball ricocheted and he was watching it.
Well, he had a shot if he gets that off the wall quickly like that, but it's a tough deflection. Well, he was on this one. 85-mile-an-hour fastball off the wall, but gets away from Ortega. Otherwise, with that arm he has, he's liable to throw him out. Oof. Real close.
Yeah.
Looked like he made enough contact with the base, though.
Looks like he started his left-hand turn a little soon. It's a man in scoring position. There's that fastball you were talking about that Kansas City likes to jump on. Perez with his 5th double. Omar Infante take a breaking ball. Down and away. Kansas City last night 1-for-5 with men in scoring position.
You always have to worry about with Infante. He hits the high pitch very, very well.
In a monster game against the Angels once in Kansas City, right? The Grand Slam.
But it was a high pitch.
Yeah. 2 balls, no strikes. 1-for-4 last night with a single. 267 this season.
Some early frustration from Weave.
A 4-pitch walk. Puts a couple of men on now for Gerard Dyson.
Right fielder, number 1, Gerard Dyson.
Dyson hitting .304. It's the early part of the season, dealing with an oblique strain. That occurred early March. Ortega playing shallow and left. Simmons trying to keep Perez close to the bag at second. So a big hole on the left side of the infield. Good off speed pitch down the line. That's a fair ball. Just went out and hooked it. Cron couldn't get there. One run is in. And it's a double for Dyson. 2-0 Kansas City.
Shortstop, number 2, Alcides Escobar.
He went to go backdoor slider after a curveball the pitch before. Just got the bat head out, even though the hips were open by Dyson. Put the bat back through that zone and got it by CJ Cron just on that line and down for a double. First extra base hit of the season for Dyson.
So after retiring the first 2 batters, the double by Perez, a walk, and now another double. This one to Dyson. Brings it to leadoff man and Alcides Escobar. Fly ball to deep left center. His first at bat of the game.
Big moment now for Weaver and the Angels, especially with Volquez on the mound for Kansas City tonight. Even though he had a tough time in the first, no damage against him.
Popped him up. Shallow right. Calhoun coming in. Calls off Giavitello. And that'll do it. Little 2-out rally for the Royals. Makes it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second. Hey folks, you can host a business function or celebrate a special occasion in your own private suite here at Angel Stadium. Suite rentals offer all-inclusive food and beverage packages. Just go to angels.com/suites for more info. Bottom third of the order in Cron, Perez, and Giavitello against Edinson Volquez. First pitch fastball is a strike. DJ Cron, night off last night, hitting 153. 1 double, 1 home run, and 3 runs batted in. Backup slider, and Cron gets jammed. 0-2. Still trying to find his footing. Starting the season, caught in between pitches. Off to a slow start last year as well. This will back up the middle, little 2-strike approach. Hey, whatever works.
Yeah, change up, but it was down, but it was the middle of the plate. Let's punch it right back up the middle. Kind of swing right there, even though it wasn't textbook. Getting the job done as far as putting it in play could get you rolling, especially because he's a low ball hitter. He can hit the fastball when it's down around the knee level. Track that one well. Pretty good changeup too by Volquez, but he hits it right back up the middle.
Yeah, a dead pull power hitter pulls that ball to the left side. It's an easy out, but because his swing really is geared more center to right center field. He's able to just kind of barrel it up the middle.
Yeah, he has home run power, but he's really a doubles machine. The left center field, right center field when he's swinging well.
Perez takes low. Carlos hitting 159 with a double and 2 RBIs. Had a 1-for-4 game yesterday. Hit and run is on, and it's fouled back. Got a home plate umpire, Mike Everett. Mike Scioscia will hit and run with Carlos. Will hit and run with C.J. Crow. And Simmons, another guy that has been chosen by Scioscia to do that. Off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mentioned Volquez originally with the Rangers, got traded to Cincinnati. That was the Josh Hamilton deal. It's for them, the Padres, a little bit the Dodgers, as well as the Pirates. And then last year with Kansas City.
Certainly a big part of their success in that run to the World Championship last year.
And much like we touched on last night with Ian Kennedy, where Kansas City over the last several years hasn't necessarily gone out to the free agent market and looked for the 1s and the 2s. They've been looking at the 3s and the 4s that fit their budget profile. Volquez was such a pickup last year. Broken bat pop up on the infield. Carlos Perez will pick up the broken lumber and head back to the dugout. 1 out. Thrown at first. Johnny Giavitelli coming up.
He ran that 95-mile-an-hour fastball. You can see that late movement he has created, especially over this run with Kansas City.
Giavitelli hitting 136 with 1 RBI. Down low.
Really important for Johnny Giavitelli to think line drive, middle of the field. When he gets that lift, tries to drive the ball in the air. Occasionally he'll hit the ball out of the ballpark, but his game is middle of the field, line drive. More compact swing. Dave Hanson's been working on him hitting down on the baseball.
Royals' 2nd round draft pick in 2008.
Again, he's trying to pull that baseball there. That's a pretty good changeup again by Volquez.
One ball, 1 strike. 2-0 Kansas City. Bottom of the 2nd. Cron over at first with a leadoff single.
Another changeup.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you see a 3rd. Pennington got the start at 2nd last night. Went 0 for 2 with a couple of walks.
And he has 2 options to run that fastball like we saw the last one to Perez at 95 up and in, or bounce a changeup now. Shorten up your swing if you're Giavitelli.
Ground ball up the middle. They tried to sneak that fastball. That's when I think you outsmart yourself sometimes. You see a swing Like you saw from Giants, just try it again. You're ahead of the count already as a pitcher.
So often I talk to a number of pitchers on the Angels when they, you throw 2 perfect sliders and they swing at it in dirt. And you think, well, I thought about it, I had to spot a fastball to set up a slider. No, you've already had them set up.
Right.
Just throw another one. Chances are he'll hack at that too. And you don't even have to get it close to the strike zone. That's why I'm surprised Volquez thought he might try to sneak a fastball in. Not the right decision. Bounce a changeup. Instead, Johnny Giavitello did his part and hit that ball right up the middle, like we said to do.
Escobar takes a fastball for a strike. He singled to right field in the first inning, so he's 1 for 1. The Angels had first and second, nobody on. Eventually, a bases loaded 1-out situation, didn't score in the first. Now have 2 men on with 1 out here in the second. Chopper off the plate. Hosmer backs up. Nobody's covering first. That's an infield base hit. Even if he comes up with it, Escobar was going to be able to leg that out for a base hit.
Yeah, once the baseball is chopped that high in the air, there's really not a whole lot you can do, especially when you have no one at first. As Volquez is a spectator initially. And it looks like a line drive in the box score. And that's what you want. You want Escobar to come up in RBI situation. Granted, it was an infield hit. But at some point, Mike Scioscia's thinking in terms of, Escobar's done a great job leading off, but we want him in RBI situations because the bottom of the order has not had a whole lot of success at this point. So he hasn't had many opportunities. That's why the thought is that maybe at some point you move him into that RBI spot, 5th or 6th in the lineup.
The old Baltimore chop, as they call it. Yeah, whatever works. 2 knocks on the night for Escobar. Bases loaded. Here's Ortega, who slapped a single through the left side of the infield in his first at bat.
First pitch swing at himself. His first at bat. Well, if you look at his approach, his hands is quiet on the bat. Doesn't grip the bat until the last second. He's comfortable.
Little roller up the first base line, and that's an out. It'll score a run. An RBI for Ortega, his second big league RBI, and it's a 2-1 Royals lead. Escobar to second, Giavitello to third. Trout struck out on an off-speed pitch in the first inning. Ground ball to the right side. That'll sneak through for a base hit. Johnny will score. Escobar being waved home to throw to the plate. Not in time. A 2 RBI single. And the Angels have taken a 3-2 lead.
First pitch swinging. Like Mike Trout, we saw that batting average career-wise against the Royals, 357. Well, that'll go up, and so will the RBI total for Trout. This is a perfect swing. Fastball down, inside-out approach, and through the hole between first and second for Trout. And Ron Renneke taking a shot at Dyson there with that good arm he has, but it's up the first base line.
Here's Albert. Breaking ball, first pitch. Albert worked the walk in the first.
It's good to see Trout get that swing and hit. First base hit with runners in scoring position. So far this season with a perfect swing.
11 RBIs now in the season for Trout. Pujols, the team leader with 14.
Quite a few hits in this game in the first pitch sequence against Volquez. You know, everyone knows he's pretty much around the strike zone, especially lower part of the strike zone, which plays into the swing for Mike Trout.
Albert fouls it back.
And now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. Albert at the plate. Done some special things. His career with Mike Trout, 26 times. You mentioned it earlier as far as homer in the same game. Encarnacion and Bautista, as far as current teammates, with 40 leading that category. Adam Jones and Davis for Baltimore with 27.
Could be the last year for those two guys at Toronto, both free agents to be. Edwin Encarnacion and Jose Bautista.
Pretty difficult to leave that ballpark, though, when you think about it. That's a great hitter's yard. Then again, they can hit the ball out of any ballpark, though.
Trout started to go, then stopped as Albert fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Running that fastball at 95. That's what he kind of tried to do to Gia Patel, but it was a lower part of the strike zone inside. Albert will turn on that one too when it's a lower part of the strike zone at 95 inside. Upstairs in the strike zone, difficult to turn on.
That's out toward left center field, hit well. Gordon moving over, and he will track it down. What a play by the Gold Glover in left. It'll end the inning, but the Angels strike for 3.
There's certainly a buzz in this stadium when Alex Gordon, with a full extension on the dive, talked about how well he fields that position, one of the all-time greats in that position.
Halos up 3-2. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Kansas City. Moustakas, Kane, and Hosmer. Hosmer homered to center field in the first inning. 7th of the year. Takes the off-speed pitch outside.
His teammate in high school at Chatsworth, Matt Dominguez, got called up from Toronto today.
Saw that. Former Houston Astro.
That was a fun team to coach against at Chatsworth with Moustakas and Dominguez on that left side of the infield.
Lifted foul and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You look at the charts, you look at the spray charts for Moustakas, the home run was the left center field. Majority of the hits he has and hits the ball to that right side of the infield, 39%. That one zone right there where you see the shift being put on right now with Giavotella in that outfield grass.
Two.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Weaver wanted that pitch called. And it caught the bottom part of the zone.
That's kind of a
non-verbal communication.
That's like a Doc Holliday moment from Tombstone.
And he walked him. Second walk issued by Jude. Puts a man on for Lorenzo Cain.
Center fielder, number 6, Lorenzo Cain.
Lorenzo Cain, a fly ball to deep left, his first time up. Slow start for Cain this year. 200 average, couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. 0 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts. Terrific season last year with 28 stolen bases. Saw that graphic, third in the voting for MVP. Two balls, 1 strike. Cain and Alcides Escobar, part of the package that came over from Milwaukee in the Zach Greinke deal once upon a time. Jake Odorizzi was also part of that deal, and he got flipped to the Tampa Bay Rays. And all they got in return for that was James Shields and Wade Davis. Will Myers also going to Tampa in that deal. Cain fouls it back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tried to stay back on that curveball at 68 miles an hour. Unable to do so. Those are the type of swings that hurt your back, and that's what he looks like after that swing, Lorenzo Cain. The difference, pitch speed so far for Weaver, 20 miles an hour differential between his best fastball at 86 and slowest curve at 66. So pretty good range so far for Weaver, just trying to be more consistent hitting his spots.
Changeup, the slow.
For me now, it looks like they're sitting off speed against Weaver. You track a changeup like that, it's not a bad spot. It's 74. Sitting slow curve, trying to, and changeup.
.43 pitches so far. 24 for strikes. Leadoff walk to Moustakas over at first base. Pardon me. (3-2) fouled off. It's going to find its place amongst the Royals fans on first base side. Not as large a presence as we saw last night, but they've got their following now.
They had, what, 800,000 at the victory parade last year?
Another payoff. This is line to right, a base hit. Cole over to try to cut it off, and he does so. Moustakas will turn and then stop right there. Nice job by Cole.
That could turn out to be a huge play.
That ball skipped and it looked like it was going to take off by him. Terrific play.
The range he showed on this one. It's a slider. Pretty good spot. The Canis went down and got that pitch and hits that ball to right center field. But Cole Calhoun did a great job of cutting off this baseball and getting it in quickly to prevent Moustakas from going to third base. What a play by Cole. So you've kept that double play in order. With a play like that with your defense. So we saw an outstanding play by Alex Gordon in left field and a very good one there by Cole Calhoun in right center field.
So nobody out, 2 men on, and Hosmer at the plate. Pickoff attempt. Moustakas gets the hand back in there.
Good decision. Even though you don't pick them off, you shorten up a secondary lead.
One.
The reason why that's important too, because you have a shift on, and Escobar quite a ways away from third base.
Hosmer lifted one to center to end the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Just a little bit high. 2-1 count.
Hosmer this year has rolled into 2 double plays. Weaver could really use that right now.
See the shift on. Three balls, 1 strike. Kendrys Morales on deck.
Guy with the best numbers career-wise against Weaver on deck.
Yep. Kansas City with solo runs in the first and the second. The Angels answering with 3 in the bottom of the second, but Kansas City stalking right back here in the third. 3-1 to Hosmer. Strike. Full count.
Very similar pitch he threw to Alex Gordon on the inside part of the plate, a 2-seam fastball.
4th full count for Weaver.
And because of this defensive alignment, you might see Kansas City going on a 3-2 count. Simmons is drifting closer to the base at second.
Change up, ground ball to second. Giavitello will feed Simmons for 1. The relay back to first, double play. Got him out in front with the off speed, Goog.
And a perfect pitch and a nice defensive play by Giavitello, flipping that over to Simmons. Again, they've worked on this a lot because of the shift being on. It's a different play than normal. See how he's out in front. And the perfect flip and the turn to complete a 4-6-3 double play.
Still work to be done with Kendrys Morales up. Takes off the plate for ball 1. Kendrys a fly ball to left to lead off the second. 53 runs batted in, 2 outs last year. led the American League. Weaver going for the full windup here. 1-1.
Fairly dangerous spot on the changeup. Now, if I'm Weaver right now, I'm making him swing at my pitch out of the strike zone if I can. Because you do have an open base. .67-mile-an-hour curveball. Now, if you're Weaver, you're making him chase out of the strike zone right now.
Here comes the 2-2. Got him swinging. Down goes Kendrys. And Weaver works out of some trouble. Nothing comes across. The Angels still up 3-2. Was once known as the magic man around these parts. It's got to be Weaver now.
He can do it.
It's working. I mean, you first and second, nobody out, gets out of it with no runs. Hey, every fan matters. The Angels take on the Rays Friday, May 6th, 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels selfie stick courtesy of Farmer John as part of Guinness World's Record official attempt. Visit Angels.com to get your tickets.
And she could have used a selfie stick right there.
Yeah.
As we all do. We all need one.
It's Calhoun, Simmons, and Crone for the Angels here in the third. Anson Volquez has allowed 6 hits through the first 2 innings. 2 in the first, 4 in the second. Cole popped out in foul territory. His first time up. Ground ball over to Hosmer. 1 down.
Shortstop, number 2, Andrelton Simmons.
Volquez has a very good changeup. We're seeing 2 really good changeups from right-handed pitchers tonight.
Always like that pitch for guys that have a lot of moving parts to their delivery because it just adds to that deception.
Weaver being one, Volquez being the other. Mario Soto, we've mentioned him before, had an unbelievable changeup. Former 20-game winner with Cincinnati. Fastball, changeup.
Andrelton 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center. Ground ball, and this is over to Moustakas. 2 down.
So firmly believe when you're teaching a youngster the pitch, fastball, changeup. Changeup being that second pitch you teach a youngster. Keep developing that as long as you pitch.
Not the splitter?
No.
Not the knuckleball?
No, changeup. You can have so many different grips with the changeup, whatever you're comfortable with.
Turn it over. That's all you're trying to do. Cron looks at a breaking ball for a strike. CJ started off the second inning with a single up the middle, 2-strike hitting. Scored one of the 3 runs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Down low, 2-1. Texas beat Yankees earlier today, 10-1. Earlier tonight, I should say, 10-1. Oakland defeating the Tigers 5-1. The Astros in Seattle scoreless at the bottom of the 4th up at Safeco.
The White Sox again. Chris Sale, I think, pitched for Chicago.
Yeah.
Another great game. Their team ERA coming into that game tonight will go down a little bit, 2.41 for the White Sox. And now they're starting to swing the bat.
Cubs win today. Cubs are winning. How about the Nats? They lost. So Cubs, Southsiders and Northsiders could be even with 15 wins. A walk for Cron. 2-out variety. That's a second free pass issued by Volquez.
Catcher number 58, Carlos Perez.
Now here's tonight's Cold Hard Facts, which are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light, with Carlos Perez coming to the plate. Fewest pitches per plate appearance in the AL this season. All 5 in this game tonight. Simmons, Carlos Perez, Escobar, Johnny Giavotella. Escobar for Kansas City. They're up there hacking early.
Carlos popped out his first time up.
Again, both these clubs do not strike out. That's the very aggressive clubs. Teams with the least amount of strikeouts as teams. The Angels, the least amount, 104 punchouts. Kansas City is a team, 131. So they're aggressive, but they make contact. And that's something that Billy Epler wanted to address during the offseason as far as some additions to the clubs. Having guys that make contact, put the ball in play. Seen those results so far. Now just looking for a more consistent as far as the bottom part of the order getting on base.
3-0. Perez going to go out and make a visit.
So far pretty productive at the bottom of the order. 2 runs scored. Cron's been on twice. Volquez with 55 pitches thrown, 35 in the strike zone, 20 out. He's in danger of walking his 3rd batter here of the game.
Grade 1. Giavotella on deck. Carlos may have helped out. Full count though. Cron's going to be on the move here. The 2 outs. Volquez with a terrific opening month last year for Kansas City, off to another terrific start this year. And Perez goes down swinging. The inning comes to an end. Second strikeout for Anderson Volquez. 3 in the books. 3-2 Angels. one more tomorrow night. Don't forget, that's on KCOP My 13 because of the Ducks Predators Game 7 here on Fox Sports West tomorrow. Then it's off to Texas and Milwaukee for a quick 6-game road trip. And the Rays in town for Mother's Day weekend. After an off day, the St. Louis Cardinals in town.
This might be the place to be, this whole general area tomorrow. Game here, game just across the way at Honda Center. The place to be for sports.
Gordon shoots one out to the alley, left center field. That'll fall in there, and it'll go for extra bases. Gordon on his way to second, and it's a leadoff double. Gordon struck out in the second. Picks up his third double here to start the fourth.
He kind of got that curveball.
Late start for Game 7 tomorrow.
That should be an unbelievable atmosphere at Honda Center. Game 7, Stanley Cup playoffs. Trying to advance to play the San Jose Sharks.
Can we reference them as the San Jose Moda Sharks?
We can do that. We can give it a shot.
He's not a Sharks fan. Salvador Perez doubling off the short wall and left in the second inning. 5th double of the year. Eventually scored. One ball, one strike. Gordon over at second base, a leadoff double. The changeup.
Boy, third base coach Dursley's almost in the Angels dugout. Up and down there at third base. Almost in the on deck circle.
And that's a swing and a miss. Perez tags Perez, one out.
Second baseman, number 14.
Real good slider here from Weaver, getting a swing and miss. And a nice job by Carlos Perez to keep that baseball in front. Quickly applying the tag and keeping Gordon at second base.
Brings up Infante. He walked in the second, one of 2 walks issued by Weaver.
You see where Jersey not that far from the on deck circle. Why is that coach's box down there at third base and first base? Is that just a suggestion?
Hooked down the left field line, and that is foul. Yeah, I have no idea. I always thought I was under the impression that they got to start within that coach's box area, and then once the play begins, you can move.
Well, the one plus, he does have a good number, though.
What's he wearing? Zach Greinke's old 23?
Oh, there you go. Caesar Geronimo.
Man, Greinke had some great years at the
Oh,
Royals.
there you go. There you go. And they already saying Kansas City, Zach who?
Yeah. No one pitch. Changeup out toward left center field. That is going to get down for a hit. It'll go to the wall. Gordon will score. Infante with a double, and it'll tie things up at 3. Infante picks up his 7th double and his 3rd RBI.
Elevated. Talked about how Infante can hit the high pitch, and has a high changeup. Splits the gap. Picking up his 7th double. Season 3rd RBI. We've upset about the location of that changeup.
Here's Dyson. He shoots one out to deep right center field. Long run for Cole. Racing back, and this one's going to go off the wall. Calhoun up and firing. Infante being waved in. Back-to-back doubles, and Kansas City has retaken a lead 4-3. Second double of the night for Dyson.
It's a fifth double of the night for Kansas City. Six extra base hits in this game for Kansas City against Weaver. Three and a third inning pitch so far for Weaver. 7 hits. Talk about 6 extra base hits.
Top of the order now, and Alcides Escobar, who twice has flied out.
And keep your eye on Dyson at second. Vary your look back to second base. He loves to try to steal third.
2 stolen bases this year, but caught once. Four 4-3 Kansas City here in the fourth. Hold one. Breaking ball. Dyson was on the move. Simmons has it.
And wisely looks over to third base because Dyson is a guy that will keep going, especially that long throw from that shortstop position across the diamond.
So 2 outs and a man at third for Moustakas. Home run and a walk for Moustakas. Weaver this time with Dyson at third base, 2 outs going from the stretch. Two runs in for the Royals. The Angels, the bottom of the fourth, will have 9-1-2 coming up against Volquez. This one's out towards center. Trout has to come in on it, and he'll put it away for the third out. And Kansas City retakes the lead as we head to the bottom of the fourth. KCA on top 4-3. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Subaru Loves Promise. Subaru's pledge is to do right by the communities in which we all live and work. And by El Pollo Loco. 5 meals under 500 calories. Try them at El Pollo Loco. 4-3 Kansas City, bottom of the fourth inning. Johnny Giavitello ready to lead things off for the Angels against right-hander Edinson Volquez, who has 2 strikeouts and has walked 2 batters. He's allowed 6 hits. Johnny with a base hit his first time up. He's 1 for 1.
We were looking for some offense tonight. That last came out against the White Sox, outstanding. Mislocation on some pitches, and Kansas City has capitalized early in this game. Looking for some offensive help, though.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And as far back as Moustakas was playing, not a bad idea by Giavitello.
One ball, 2 strikes. Back-to-back off-speed pitches. Lifts this into the air to shallow left. Alex Gordon comes in. 1 down. So Junel Escobar coming up. Clearly winning the battle of the leadoff Escobars. Both last night went hitless. Tonight, Junel is 2 for 2 with a couple of singles and a run scored. Alcides for Kansas City 0 for 3.
Junel has a lot of room in left center field here.
I'd use that as a fantasy football team name. The leadoff Escobars.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You like it?
Yeah. Got the draft coming up, what, a couple days?
Yeah.
Getting ready.
The real draft. Back up the middle. Infante to his right. Has it go off his glove. Ricochets to Alcides, and Junel is safe. Oh, okay.
See, he wasn't liking the fact that you were saying he's got more hits than him.
Well, I think he was trying to even up the series of the leadoff Escobars.
Off the glove of an Infante. And Alcides Escobar right there with that strong throwing arm he has almost gets Junel Escobar. That was a planned play, by the way. Deflected right over to him. Not in time.
3rd hit of the game. Seventh multi-hit game for Junel Escobar. That leads the Angels. Ortega 1 for 2.
Not a real big lead for Junel Escobar there. Volquez throws over.
Halos have not run a whole lot this year. Just 4 stolen bases. 1-0 count. Moustakas in several steps on the grass at 3rd base. Ground ball over to Hosmer. Fires to Escobar for 1. The relay throw, and it's in the dirt and gets away. Nobody's backing up, and Ortega just stays at first base. He easily could have gone to second base. But maybe with Trout coming up, it would have been a good idea.
Yeah, he said, you know what, you're in scoring position at first base with Trout coming up. Low throw. Hosmer with the quick throw. And a firm throw, but a low throw. Hosmer unable to scoop it. He not have got him out anyhow.
And then everybody just watched the baseball in front of the dugout.
Including Salvador Perez.
Two outs, the man at first. Halos down a run. Here's Trout. 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI single.
The Trout net out in right center field. Base hit last at bat to the right side of the infield between first and second. Driving in 2. First hit with runners in scoring position this year.
Pretty good lead for a take at first. Looked like he went around. He did. To Timmons at first base, brings it up. No balls, 2 strikes.
He crossed the plate, clearly did so on that low pitch, changeup. And a very effective pitch for Volquez in this game.
Fastball, first pitch, changeup, next pitch.
No 2 pitch, anticipating something off speed, maybe in the dirt. Not a bad time to go. Worst case scenario, you give a fresh at bat next inning for Trout.
Down remains, no balls, 2 strikes.
Mistake pitch by Volquez on an 0-2 pitch. Fastball out over the plate. A pretty good hack at it by Trout.
Next pitch will be the 70 for the right-hander. Three runs on the board for the Angels, all coming in the second inning. 4 singles. Trout now with a 12-game hitting streak against Kansas City. One ball, 2 strikes.
Pretty good block by Perez behind the plate. That was well out in front of the plate. I'm thinking he's saying, I have no idea how I even blocked that baseball.
At least it was a changeup, but not a 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Slightly overthrown changeup. Did get the dirt though.
Yeah.
Not the grass.
Down he goes on an off-speed pitch. Second time that Volquez has struck out Trout. 4 complete. Kansas City on top.
Tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Trucks. Talked about Rafael Ortega having center field type speed. His ability to cover so much ground. Back in the first inning, runs that one down nearly 88 feet. He had to travel to get that baseball to catch it just in front of the wall for Ortega, who's been outstanding on the defensive side, especially with that throwing arm also.
We begin the top of the fifth inning with 3, 4, and 5 due up for Kansas City. Kane, Hosmer, and Morales. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks for Jared Weaver. 7 hits allowed, 5 of which have been doubles, 1 single, 1 home run. Kane takes strike 1. Kane has the lone single, and that was in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Four runs, 7 hits, 4 left on for the Royals. 3 runs, 7 hits, 6 left on for the Halos. .72 pitches thrown by Jarrett. 44 for strikes. Ground ball to short. Low throw. Crone has it for the first out. Every fan matters when the Angels take on the Rays Sunday, May 8th at 12:35. The first 20,000 adults in attendance will receive a Mother's Day beach tote courtesy of Thermador. Join us Mother's Day. Visit angels.com. The qualifying word there for us, adults.
So we don't count?
We get shut out on those totes, man. Here's Hosmer. Hosmer 0 for 2, a fly ball to center and a double play ball.
It's that good 2-seam fastball there from Weaver.
Seattle has taken a 2-0 lead on the Astros. That game in the bottom of the 5th. Off speed, pulled, and Ciavatella can't get it. Hosmer beats the shift, and it's a 1-out single.
Designated hitter, number 25, Henry Morales.
16-game hitting streak now for Hosmer, and he's been on board 28 straight games going back to last year. So Kendrys will step up. 1 out, 1 on. Morales 0 for 2. Struck you out his last time up.
Got to pay attention to Hosmer. He's one of those guys that has tried to take a walking lead against you. 2 stolen bases this year.
Pulled to the right side. Ciavatella has it. Goes to Simmons for 1. It's odd looking, to say the least, but it's very effective. Second time tonight. Weaver's thrown the double play ball. Way to the bottom of the 5th. Halos down by 1.
The 3 here in the bottom of the 5th. Take a look at how that inning ended with a double play with Johnny Giavitello. That's worthy of a Carl's Cam replay. Playing the shift, fields that ball, has a pivot, and then throw to Simmons, back covering the base. A long throw from Giavitello to complete a 4-6-3 double play. Not the conventional kind normally, but well done by Simmons once again and Giavitello. Those guys worked a ton, Victor, in spring training, and they talk to each other every single day as far as being in those positions, especially playing this much as far as shifts being on.
Two balls and no strikes. Albert will walk in a fly ball to left center field. That's the terrific diving catch that Gordon made. Ending the second. 2-1.
And Albert is homered in back-to-back games, including 2 yesterday.
Ground ball, and that's a base hit. Leadoff single. Albert now 5 for 10 with 3 home runs over his last 4 games, including today.
Boy, Kansas City riding the extra base hit with 6 of them.
Yeah.
The Angels all singles so far. Cole looking for an extra base hit here.
He missed a fastball in the first and popped out, got an off-speed pitch leading off the third, and he grounded out.
Came back with another changeup to expand his zone, hoping that he would chase it. Good take there by Cole Calhoun.
Single by Albert to open up this 5th. Third time the Angels have had their leadoff man reach. One ball, one strike. There's a look at how the hits have been spread out tonight for both teams.
And his extra base hits, the difference so far in this game for Kansas City is they lead by 1 run. 8 singles. So good swings though for the Angels in this game.
Two balls, one strike. Oh yeah, the selfie stick.
Perfect.
That dude is pretty stoked for a selfie stick.
Oh yeah, he can't wait.
Two one. Off speed away. 3 balls and 1 strike. You see Volquez kind of talking to himself. He has a couple of times tonight kind of pushed or launched that changeup.
And that's very difficult to get even closer to the strike zone when your front side opens up so quickly. And then your elbows dragging on the changeup.
Simmons on deck, Pujols at first.
That's a good pitch to swing and crush for, and Cole upset with himself just like Volquez was the pitch before. Cole was upset with himself for not hitting that a long way. It's a fastball at 94 right down the heart of the plate and just got underneath it. See the frustration. Cole knowing he had a pitch to do some damage. Would not be surprised now if Volquez comes back with a changeup.
This one's down to left, not very deep. Gordon has to come in. 1 down. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Man on with one out. Here comes Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop. 0 for 2. Fly ball to center, and a ground ball to third. Ground ball left side. Escobar knocks it down, and it trickles out into shallow left. It'll go as a base hit, and why not?
It's a 9th single now. Ran a fastball off the plate and always aggressive on the first pitch. Simmons just gets that one by. Escobar off the glove. All he was thinking is a potential force out at second. Unable to field that cleanly, though.
Two on, one out. Cron at the plate. He's been on board twice with a single and a walk.
Patience right now for C.J. Cron. Look for a pitch in his zone. Don't help out Volquez by swinging something out of the strike zone.
Angels 2 for 6 so far tonight with men in scoring position. And as you were saying, don't swing something out of the zone. That was down and in. No balls and a strike.
Pretty decent job, though, in his last 5 at-bats. Runs in scoring position, 4 hits.
Kane played more straight up in center field with CJ at the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Halos have had plenty of base runners against Volquez. Capitalized in the second for 3 runs. Down a run. This one back up the middle. Infante has it go off his body, and that's going to go as an infield base hit. And why wouldn't it? Albert turned third base and kind of stumbled as he slammed on the brakes.
Yeah, with anticipating potentially maybe that would go up the middle to be able to score the tying run, but off the glove. Infante for another single. Right back up the middle. Very similar to his first at bat. Behind in the count. Ground ball up the middle. Tricky hop around the wrist area. Infante.
Ten hits tonight, 10 singles. It's the 3rd time the Angels have loaded the bases against Anderson Volquez. Carlos Perez 0 for 2 with a pop-up and a strikeout. Pujols the tying run over at third base. First pitch swinging and a bouncer foul. Outfield shallow once again with Carlos at the plate. 0-1 pitch. This was fouled back. Fastball up and in. It remains a no ball, 2 strike count.
He jammed him the first at bat with a fastball up and in. The second at bat, he got him with a changeup down in the dirt.
Seventh time tonight that Volquez has had a no-ball, 2-strike count. Pujols at third, Simmons at second, Cron at first. Time called by Carlos.
Quick conversation now. Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. Kick the dust up, a perfect opportunity to do so with 3 runners on base. Base hit, could score 2, Yapper 3.
Oh, 2 pitch, overthrown, and what a block by Salvador Perez.
That's in the left-handed batter's box on a changeup. And nowhere near the plate, but well blocked again by Perez. 2 very good catchers as far as blocking pitches in the dirt. And on display in this series so far.
That all goes to anticipating what's coming.
Because he wanted that changeup in the dirt to begin with, but not that far away though.
1-2. Carlos fouls it back. Sinking fastball into 95.
It's a gutsy pitch though, because you can hit a batter with that running action with the bases loaded. That's well off the inside corner.
All 3 outfielders with good arms for Kansas City, and all 3 playing shallow.
Yeah, they've even drifted in a little bit more so now with 2 strikes on Carlos Perez. Difficult to score Albert on a fly ball.
That'll fall in for a base hit. Pujols will come in to score. Simmons right on his heels, and the Angels have retaken the lead.
Simba right behind Albert Pujols, giving the Halos a lead on that great swing by Carlos Perez, putting that ball in play. A changeup, went down and got it. Lower part of the strike zone, middle of the plate. Came right back with a changeup again, the rotation, and stayed back and just used the middle of the field. Good balance on that swing from Carlos Perez. And right there, Simmons sees it down, and Albert going back to the base initially. Cruises in, Simmons right behind him. And then the quick high five.
Giavotella takes a breaking ball for a strike. Carlos now with 4 runs batted in on the year.
Trout and Carlos Perez with their first hits with runners in scoring position.
Another single for the Angels. Cron at second, Perez at first. Johnny 1 for 2. That's hit out to deep left field. Gordon was playing shallow. That's over his head. Gone! Big fly for Johnny G. First of the season. And the Angels lead it 8-4.
Boy, it certainly didn't take a long time for Johnny Giavotella to round those bases with his first extra base hit being a big fly. 3-run home run for Giavotella against his former club. Getting some high-five action in that dugout. After all those singles, the 12th hit left the building.
Death by paper cuts to start this game, and now a dagger.
Right down the heart of the plate, a changeup that stayed middle, and then out of the yard. Again, that's a level swing though for Johnny. It wasn't an uppercut swing, it was a level swing. Credit Dave Hansen working really hard with him as far as hitting down on the baseball. Pumped up the energy that Giavotella brings and brings home 3.
Leadoff Manuel Escobar. 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
At some point, Johnny Giavotella may sit down.
No
Maybe
chance.
He's still moving. looking for somebody to high five.
When isn't he overmodulated? Breaking ball misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, and
But going back to that at bat by Carlos Perez, what a big at bat that was. Behind in the count, got a changeup that was down, not a bad pitch. Middle of the plate, fights it off into center for single, driving in 2, then that big 3-run home run.
Bouncer toward third. Moustakas has it. 2 down.
It's a pretty good action in this game so far if you're a fan watching at home. A lot of action.
It's the first time that Edinson Volquez has allowed 8 runs in a game since the start against Cincinnati on June 18th, 2014.
Remember, mentioned coming in, you said ERA at 9. He hadn't pitched against the Angels in a while, but that certainly won't help that ERA either.
Ortega up. Rafi takes a breaking ball for a strike. He is 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI ground out. Royals with action in their bullpen as Volquez about to throw his 98th pitch. Oh, 2.
Anyway, going back to that key of the game, kick that dust up. Johnny Giavitello certainly did, flying around those bases. 3-run home run.
393 feet.
Got out quickly, too.
Ground ball towards second. Infante has had his issues tonight. Nabs that one. And that'll do it for the Angels. But they sent 8 men to the plate. They score 5 times. The capper, Johnny G, with his first of the year.
Boy, the emotion as he hit that one out, crossing the base. You got to love that if you're an Angel fan. 3-run home run for Johnny G. To 4 here in the top of the 6th. And now it's time for the Crickets. Something to smile about. Johnny Giavitello had a changeup and drives it out for a 3-run home run. Lots of smiles. And the Halos. Johnny Giavitello with that energy brings home 3.
He might have even been speaking Spanish to Carlos there, for all we know.
He is Johnny G.
Yeah. Alex Gordon leading things off, 1 for 2. A double and a strikeout. Double lead off the 4th inning, his 3rd of the year, and he scored one of the 2 runs that Kansas City put on the board that inning. At that point, gave them the lead 4-3. Weaver at 80 pitches so far. Good breaking ball. 0-2.
Yeah, starting with a changeup and a slider.
Called strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. One down here to start the 6th.
The score not real happy with the strike zone. A couple called strikes against him in that at bat and even the first at bat. Twice has been called out looking. And if you look at our Fox trucks here, this fastball, 82 with that movement, it's very similar to the first at bat. It's a lot of the strike zone.
Perez 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout. Fastball out toward center field. Trout got a good jump on it. Ball slicing away from him. It's over his head. Hits the base of the wall, and Salvi's on his way to second with a double. Second of the night. Again, that was Weaver trying to sneak a fastball by Perez.
Who likes to hit the fastball. Who will chase breaking pitches. Just a real good swing. And even with that closing speed that Trout has, unable to get to that baseball.
Infante, a walk and an RBI double. Takes a slider for strike. Angels with action in their bullpen. 85 pitches for Jared now. Double by Perez, the 9th hit for Kansas City. Mike Moore, the first man up for the Angels. Tiered foul.
Reed to trying to work that magic for one more inning for Mike Scioscia. Big shutdown inning, needed that after that big 5-run bottom of the 5th.
Royals had Danny Duffy, the lefty, getting ready in the 5th inning. More than likely will come in to start the 6th. 1-2 off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Angels have Trout, Pujols, Calhoun coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Seattle has opened it up now on Houston 5-0 in the 7th with the Astros. Who would have guessed a slow start they're off to. 6-14 to start today. Infante shoots one out to center. With a fastball from Weaver. Trout behind it, makes the catch. Perez tagging. The throw from Trout, a good one, and Perez is in there.
Almost came off the base. Very close. Strong throw from Trout.
Did Unell lift up Salvador's hand?
It looked like he tried to. Trying to go that Kent Herbeck route in the World Series against the Cardinals. Against the Braves, I should say. Look, he tried to get that hand off the base, then lifts it up. Just in case he needed some help to get that hand off the base. But what a throw from Trout.
It's like trying to pry a chew toy away from a baby. Dyson lifts one out to left center field. Long run for Trout, but he's got a beat on this one.
He got some exercise in this inning.
Yes, he did. There's that shutdown inning you were talking about. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Halos up 8-4. When we come back, another edition of Gibby Tuesdays.
on?
I think, I'd like to be on Family Feud. It'd be a great time with the family, a lot of, funny subjects, and, my family's crazy, so I think that it would end up being an entertaining one.
100% Family Feud. We watch that a bunch, Steve Harvey, I love it, and it's one of my favorite game shows. One that I could get like a car or something, like really big, not like something like, you know what, I'd probably be in The Price is Right. The Price is Right got some cool prices.
Well, I love those answers, all the guys. I would probably be impartial. Jeopardy would probably be the game show I would like to be on. I think that would work out very well for me. What do you think?
I think you'd be really good at Jeopardy. I really would.
What do you think? What about you?
Me, I loved Card Sharks growing up.
That was great.
One of my favorite shows.
That was a good one.
Got to go high or low.
Yes. So you wouldn't join me on Jeopardy?
I'll watch. I'll root for you. Just pick all the potpourri category stuff.
Exactly.
Danny Duffy, the lefty from Lompoc, comes in place of Edison Volquez, who at 5 innings gave up 8 runs, 12 hits, one of which was a home run, the home run to Johnny Givatello. 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. It's our in and out, who's in, who's out. Duffy's in to face Trout, Pujols, and Calhoun.
Duffy fastball 94 to 98 range, slider, changeup.
Trout 1 for 3 tonight. 2 RBI single and 2 strikeouts. Swings through the first pitch from Duffy. Terrific arm, but Trout, good numbers in his career against Duffy. 3 for 6 with a home run and 2 RBIs.
8 earned runs allowed by Volquez tonight. Team in the ERA 1.46. Was close to being out in a number of innings of ground ball singles.
Duffy, 3rd round pick by Kansas City back in 07. There's the 1-1. Fouled off.
See that life on the fastball coming out of the bullpen. Just another one of those arms that Kansas City has in their bullpen that can bring that fastball in the upper 90s, even touch 100. By the way, when Greg Malley was telling me about the Family Feud, he was telling me different people in his family that would be on the show. That would be one for the ages, by the way, if they were on there.
Trout now with a 7-game hitting streak with that 2 RBI single he had in the second. Pujols on deck. Down the right field line, Dyson will give it a look, but out of play. Royals bullpen with a 2.72 ERA. Guys that can bring it. Duffy, Herrera, Davis, to name a few. Duffy's always been that type of guy too, because he has that upper 90s type stuff. It's like, here it is. You catch up to it.
And he's providing the power, so all you got to do is get the barrel of the bat. It's going to go a long way. A little easier said than done when you're trying to catch up to 97, 98, though.
Upstairs.
It's pretty good at bat working so far for Trout.
Duffy last year, 30 games, 24 starts, 7-8, 4.08 ERA. Halos with 3 in the second, 5 in the 5th. The last inning for Volquez. Breaking ball. Full count. Someone suggested on Twitter about press your luck. Now that was a fun game.
Yeah.
No whammies.
That was good.
Wasn't there a guy that figured out the pattern and ended up winning a bunch of money on that show?
Could be.
God bless him.
Yes.
3-2 on the way. Foul back.
Well, the game shows are starting to make a comeback. Family Feud is pretty funny. Got the Wheel of Fortune.
(3-2), and he walked him. Boy, an 11-pitch plate appearance results in a walk to Trout.
Designated hitters, number 5, PUJOLS.
Albert with a walk, a fly ball to left, a single, and a run scored. He led off the 5th with the single. Scored one of those 5 runs. He came home, I should say, on the 2 RBI single by Carlos Perez that preceded the Giavotella home run. Off speed and the first strike. Price is Right still on.
Yes.
Our good friend Chris McGee, Geeter.
Yes.
He was on the Price is Right once upon a time, and he won a car.
Yeah, remember that dance he had when he went up on stage.
This one fouled right back.
Oh! Hey,
self-preservation. Thanks, brother.
Oh, what a play.
There you go.
That was a missile.
Norm, you okay? That was coming right at your chest. Norm actually might have died on that one. Finally. 0-2. That's ripped out to center. Hit well. Kane will make the catch.
Your play might have been a little better on Albert.
Right fielder, number 56,
that got back here quickly.
Yeah, it did. And you know, nowadays, because of the expanded netting in our ballpark, they've taken the netting up a little bit higher. So the screaming line drives don't necessarily come right at us anymore. We get those ones that are, but that one got up here quickly.
Yeah, how's your hand feel? Pretty good?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. At least it's not 30 degrees like when you caught yours in Chicago. That was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, we got some pretty good fielding percentage up in this booth now this year.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't use gloves like Moda.
Yeah.
Or Michael Araujo, the PA announcer here at the Big A, who's caught 2 this year.
By the way, were you in the shift when you made the play?
The shifts are overrated. Calhoun takes a strike. Cole 0 for 3, a pop-up, a ground out, and a fly ball to left. Anyway, we were talking about Chris McGee in his car when that came coming at us.
He might have been able to. He might be the one that had that baseball come flying up at you.
Went around, could not hold up on that high fastball.
Alice Curry came in and said her family won on the Family Feud.
Really?
It's a big time cash.
This was back in the day, though, right?
Yes, and put the down payment on their house. So, game shows, very good as far as people we know.
Trout still at first. Leadoff walk for him. Time was called right at the last second. Mike Morin continues to play catch. Looks like he'll pitch the 7th as Cole fouls it off. Kansas City will have the top of its order coming up in the 7th. Escobar, Moustakas, and Kane. Cole goes down swinging on a high fastball, 2 down. Stay tuned later tonight on the post-game show for the business of sports, brought to you by AutoNation.com and powered by AutoNation Honda Costa Mesa. Simmons takes upstairs. 1 for 3 tonight with a single and a run scored. That's cute. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the Twitter world is going nuts as far as game shows. Pyramid.
Yeah. $20,000 or $100,000 pyramid. They had different variations.
Yes.
Trout still at first. 1-1. Foul back. Now, for comedic purposes, Match Game was genius.
Yes, that was fantastic. They had some great people on that show.
Gene Rayburn.
Yes.
With the long microphone.
Yes.
Gotta get one of those for our opens.
They had some great guests on that show.
Don't we have 70s night coming up this year?
I think we do.
We should dress like Gene Rayburn.
Yeah, that'd be good.
But the Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
With Peter Marshall.
Peter Marshall. Yeah.
Father of
Pete Lecoq.
Pete Lecoq, former Royals first baseman.
Yes.
That's line foul. .24 pitches thrown by Duffy, and of course he threw 11 to Trout. Trout takes off. Ground ball, left side. Moustakas cuts in front of Escobar, and the inning is over. So that leadoff walk stranded on base. 6 complete. The Angels still up 8-4. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. And by Energy Upgrade California. It's easy to stay golden at energyupgradeca.org. Top of the 7th. Halos up by the score of 8-4. The Jared Weaver's done after 6 innings. As Mike Scioscia hands off to Mike Morin with the top of the order coming up for Kansas City. Morin's last outing delivered a total of 5 pitches, and that was in Sunday's contest. 11 games, so a 1-0 record and a 3.68 ERA.
Very important to be able to establish that fastball and slider to get the hitters to be aware of that and then finish off with his great changeup.
First pitch, a strike to El City's Escobar. Oh for 3 in this one. A couple of fly ball outs and a ground out. Bunt on the third base side. And that's going to go foul.
That doesn't happen often.
No.
Pretty good idea. It's off that grass and then it's kicked quickly away, but good job by Escobar to field that one foul. You let that roll, it's going to roll back into fair territory.
The leadoff Escobar is going at it.
Yes.
Testing him.
It's a great camera angle we had there to see that baseball roll just foul.
Got him. Fastball right by him, 1 down.
After a 70-mile-an-hour changeup, 91 fastball upstairs to get a swing and miss by Mike Morin. Looking to try to make contact, unable to do so. Mike Morin has a lot of family watching this game back in the Kansas City area.
Moustakas, a home run, a walk, and a fly ball to center. 1 for 2. The home run back in the first inning is 7th of the year. RBI is 11th. Weaver tonight, 6 innings, 9 hits, including the home run to Moustakas. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 runs, all earned. Off speed. And he went around, says Jordan Baker. Two-one count. Out toward right center. 2 down. Follow Angels Baseball live with MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day. Live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your phone and tablet. 2 outs, nobody on. Lorenzo Cain up. Cain takes a fastball for a strike. Royals center fielder 1 for 3. He's singled into third.
high changeup at 72.
One-two on the way. Bouncer back to the mound, knocked down by Moore. Drops the glove, fires to first, got him.
Nice play, good recovery by Mike Moore.
Unbelievable style point. Stretch time. Halos up 8-4. Racing heads to the big one at Talladega with the Geico 500, where Dale Earnhardt Jr. will look to defend his title from last year, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Pacific on your local Fox station, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. 8-4, Halos on top, bottom of the 7th. Joaquin Osorio, who threw 17 pitches last night on a relief of Danny Duffy, who pitched a scoreless 6th inning. He walked Trout to lead off the inning, but then retired the next 3, including a strikeout. Crone, Perez, Giavotella for the Angels here in the 7th. Crone tonight, 2 for 2, a couple of singles and a walk. Lays off. 3 balls, no strikes. Sorry, sign of the offseason. He's off to a slow start. This is his 11th game, 1-1 record. He's given up 11 hits in 9 innings of work, struck out 10 and walked 5.
Well, you would love to have that green light. That is a perfect pitch to do some damage. And knowing Mike Scioscia, he gave him that green light. Love to have that pitch back for CJ Crone.
And a walk to lead off the 7th.
Catcher number 58, Carlos Perez.
Just a great at bat, last at bat for Carlos Perez. Big base hit, driving in 2, behind in the count, hit that ball to center before Johnny Giavotella with a 3-run home run.
Push bunt on the first base side. Soria will flip on to first. Sacrifice advances Crone to second.
Second baseman, number 12, Johnny Giamatella.
We're waiting to see if there was in play because C.J. Crone tried to go to third base. Mike Scioscia is going to go out and talk to the umpires. Odd play right there, especially in scoring position already.
See where Moustakas is at, and Crone thinking he can take the extra 90 feet.
And the one thing you worry about is if when Salvador Perez went out to the mound, if there was already timeout called.
If you're going to make a move like that, you better make sure you're going to be safe.
Yeah, because you're in scoring position. Mike Scioscia gave up an out to get you in scoring position on the sacrifice bunt.
1-5 to put out for round number 2. And unlike the other day when we had that issue with the Seattle Mariners after a foul ball. Giamatella flips one out to right field. Dyson dives. He can't get it. Goes off his body. Johnny will head to second. And he's going to keep on going. No, he's going to stop right there.
Good decision. You're in scoring position there. You don't want to make that third out at third base, especially when you got Escobar coming up. But some real good swings in this entire game for Giamatella. That base hit, double to right field, home run to left, single to center. Dyson trying to dive in there, just trying to keep that baseball in front of him at that point. Did a good enough job to slow that baseball down, try to slide in there. Giamatella picks up his third hit of the game, a single, double, and a home run.
Far from textbook as far as the effort is concerned. He's lucky that that ball hit him. Otherwise, that ball's to the wall. It's a man in scoring position for Escobar. And that base running mistake by Crone costing the Angels a run. So Giamatella with a 3-hit game. Escobar with a 3-hit game. And that one misses inside. 13 hits for the Angels.
Pretty good swing on a fastball inside. Soria throws a lot of fastballs. 70% of his pitches so far this year are fastballs, 90-94. Slider curve change. C.J. Crone a little bit too aggressive there. You're in scoring position.
Ground ball toward the hole. Escobar has to go off his glove. Giamatella keeps on running. Moustakas can't get a handle on it. The run scores. It's 9-4 Angels.
And the flying Giamatella, his usual head first dive. And he's getting high fives as he goes to the dugout. So many of these ground balls off the glove of infielders today for Kansas City. Ron Renneke not hesitating, and then the slide, the head first slide once again. Not quite the height we're used to seeing from Johnny Giamatella as far as his head first dive.
We're calling that an error all the way. That should be a hit and an error. No RBI. was an error on Escobar, the shortstop, his 4th of the year.
Gotta love that energy that Giavotella brings. He's had a big-time game here tonight. Talk about that balance at the bottom of the order. It's been very effective. 6 hits. Bottom of the order, including 6 runs scored.
That's off the plate. Full count. Runner goes, and there is ball 4. So travel bad with a couple of men on. Second walk of the inning for Soria. Dave Island, the pitching coach, coming out now.
A lot of pitches from the lower part of the strike zone or below, which should play into the swing from Mike Trout against Soria here.
Now batting for your Angels, center fielder, number 27, Mike Trout.
That's inside.
Coming into this game, Soria with 9 innings pitched, 2 home runs allowed, and if he keeps throwing that low fastball against Trout, could be troubles. A lot of smiles there from Johnny Giavotella. Good to see that, finally comfortable at the plate. A lot of hard work. Dave Hansen, Paul Sorrento, as far as working down, as far as that chop down on the swing. Even the home run was a level swing he hit out.
2 balls, no strikes. Trout a 1-for-3 game, 2 RBI single in the second. His last plate appearance resulting in a walk, that was in the 6th. (2-0) upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. Pujols on deck.
Trout will get a green light here. Doesn't swing off in 3-0.
That's hit in the air to right. Dyson moving over. He'll put it away, and that'll do it for the Angels here in the 7th. We head to the 8th inning. 9-4 Halos.
Your Angels with a nice, healthy lead as we start the top of the 8th. Coming up on the SoCal Mazda Dealers postgame show. This was a battle of undefeated on the mound. Both starters struggled. We'll take you through Weaver's wild ride. And who knew it was singles night at the Big A? Of course, with a name like Johnny G, you got to go big or go home run. We're going to have the scoring highlights for you. And Angels fans, just a programming note. If you're looking for your Halos this time tomorrow night, check out KCOP. Because the Ducks take over Fox Sports West tomorrow night. All important Game 7. Victor?
Gina, we appreciate it. Looking forward to the Ducks Game 7. We wish them all the luck in the world against the Predators. Hopefully they close it out.
That place will be going nuts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just like this place will be going nuts tomorrow night. There's a lot of energy in this area, SoCal. Pennington taking over at second base for Johnny Giavotella.
Greg Malley takes over on the mound. Mike Morin. Morin with 1 inning, had 1 strikeout. Malley pitched on Saturday, 2/3 of an inning. He's got Hosmer, Morales, a switch hitter, and then Gordon. He's going to see a lefty, righty, and then a lefty. Ground ball over to first. Cron will take it himself. 1 down. Hosmer 1 for 4 game.
Designated hitter,
Bring up Kendrys.
Kendrys Morales.
Oh for 3 tonight.
Will also throw his changeup. McMalley against right-handed batters. He's got a good one. So there's different arm angles he throws the baseball at.
Two-0. Down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. There's a strike. Get it over Variety. Three one. Bouncer off the leg.
Real nice job by Mike Moore in that last inning. And a strikeout, a flyout, and a ground ball that he made a nice play on.
So man on with 1 out now.
That didn't miss by a whole lot.
Left fielder, number 4, Alex.
A little bit off the inside corner.
Caught the inside corner. Gordon's not happy at all.
No, he's not going to be anything close. Well, if there's another 1 or 2 in this at bat called on a corner, might be it for Alex.
Gordon's 1 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts and a double. They want an appeal. He went around. Down goes Gordon. 2 outs.
3rd time he has struck out tonight. The other 2 times looking. This time on a check swing. See if he went. Yep, across the plate. Good pitch. Ran that one inside. Gordon looking away. That's the thing about Malley he's really good at. Throwing a fastball in against a lefty.
And for a strike on Salvador Perez, who has doubled twice tonight, and he has struck out once. This one out toward left. Not very deep. Simmons going out, and he got it! Are you serious? Come on now!
The fourth
That's not
outfielder.
right!
He went so far again. Again, he always has to be on the highlight show. Well, he entered it once again with that play. Simba cruising for that play. Unreal play by Simmons.
Game box score for the Angels. You see at the bottom there, Johnny Givitello with 3 hits today, as did Yunel Escobar leading things off. You like that, the parity up and down that lineup.
And the runs scored at that bottom part of the lineup, 6 of them, but a couple really, really good at bats by Johnny Givitello and Carlos Perez. You know, Escobar, another big game with 3 singles and a run scored himself. Mike Trout gets his first hit with the runner in scoring position. That play was unbelievable by Simmons.
Yep.
Wow.
Yunel Escobar actually, they just changed the scoring. Has 4 hits in the game. Something wrong. Delivers a fastball to Pujols, who promptly lines out to Gordon.
Albert is certainly heating up. There's no doubting that now. And another loud out for Albert. Some high fives to get back in that dugout as a hitter. That's all you could do was square up a baseball, and he did so.
Over to second. 2 down.
Shortstop, number 2.
Go back and take a look at that play that Anderson just made.
I mean, that's an unbelievable play. How far he had to go on a dead sprint into the outfield, over the shoulder play, very similar to what we saw on Saturday. Over the shoulder. He's made some of the most unreal plays I've seen ever as an infielder going back on a baseball. In the play he made in Oakland against Coco Crisp.
I think right now, if you're a second base or even third base, you just try to stay out of the way and let Simmons go back on that. He reads it so well off the bat. And when you have coverage at third base or second base in case it does fall in.
Two on now to Simmons. Bouncer foul.
Now it's time for the Quicken Loans Rocket Arms as we take a look at the pitching matchup tomorrow night. Chris Young 1-3 with an ERA over 6 at this point. Nick Tropiano is throwing the ball very, very well in 3 starts. 1-0 with an ERA 1.69 for Tropiano.
2-2, and Simmons fouls it back. Chien-Ming Wang pitched last night with 1 inning. Walked a man. There's Chris Young.
He had that high fastball upper part of the strike zone.
Simmons lifts one out to Gordon left. We head to the 9th. The Angels up 9-4. This telecast of Angels baseball on Fox Sports West is brought to you by Mercury Insurance. On a mission to save you money, log on to MercuryInsurance.com today to get a fast free quote and see how much you could save. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Top of the 9th, game 2 of the 3-game set against the visiting world champion Kansas City Royals. 9-4, the Angels on top. A 5-run 5th inning turning point in this ball game. Johnny Giavatello. A 3-run blast in that 5th against Edinson Volquez. Malley back out. 2nd inning of work. Infante, Dyson, and Escobar. Omar Infante with a walk, an RBI double, and a fly ball to center. Jared Weaver, the pitcher of record for the Angels, looking to go to 3-0 on 6 innings tonight. Give up 4 runs. 2-0.
One thing you don't want to do is give the Kansas City Royals any life here. Make them swing their way on here.
And a 4-pitch walk to start the 9th.
So Shemakin
Sure, the corner infielders are thinking in terms of Dyson bunting, very good bunter, will push bunt and drag bunt.
That's 5 out of the zone now for Malley. Carlos going to go out. Houston Street starting to stretch just in case. Seattle, by the way, leading Houston 11-1 at the bottom of the 8th. Eric Kratz, the catcher for the Astros, had to come out and pitch. For that 6-15 did they lose?
Yeah, really struggling with runners in scoring position as an offense. Coming into the game is hitting 182 with runners in scoring position. Houston Astros.
Dyson with a couple of doubles tonight, 2 runs batted in, and a fly ball to center. 14 hits tonight for the Angels. Popped up. Pennington makes the catch, 1 down.
Nice job coming back and at bat by Malley. Get the pop up in the infield.
There's Al City's Escobar. 0 for 4. Down low. Here's 1-1. Down the right field line. Cole racing over, heads up with that wall. 1-2. Halos trying to win the first 2 games to start a series for just the 2nd time this year. The other was against the Oakland A's. Eventually swept the A's on that last road trip. 1-2.
Pretty good pitch. The lower part of the strike zone, we've said often, it's not being necessarily called.
Crone with a 9-4 lead here in the 9th, playing behind Infante at first base. Chopper towards short, should do it. Simmons takes it himself. Light that baby up as the Angels take game 2 by the final of 9-4.
What a well-played game defensively. Once again, the wizard there. Simmons making an outstanding play on a pop-up, finishes off with a double play. The offense rolling today. 14 hits. Johnny Giavotella, big game, 3-run home run, 3 hits. Single, double, home run for Johnny Giavotella. Jared Weaver picks up his 3rd win of the season, but it was all about the offense and how they responded. Good at-bats, too, by Carlos Perez, the bottom part of the order. C.J. Crone, a couple hits himself. Well-balanced offense today for the Halos.
I mean, you talk about Yunel Escobar at the top of the order with 4 hits. He's starting to find his groove once again. And then you talk about the bottom of the order, kind of keeping that the conga line moving, and that's what the Angels did. Johnny has some good swings tonight. And overall, the Angels with a 14-hit attack. They had a lot of singles early on, but it doesn't matter. They end up victorious with a 9-4 win. And how about the defensive play by Andrelton Simmons once again?
He's unbelievable. Simba can cover some ground.
Yeah, never gets old. Johnny G, the hero of tonight's ballgame with that 3-run blast against his former teammates. He's down to the field with Alex Curry. Alex.
Johnny, the energy you bring this club is electric. It's got to feel good to help your team get this win with 3 hits tonight.
Yeah, it feels great. I feel like I've almost been MIA the last 2 weeks, so it feels good to contribute and help a team get a win tonight.
It was all about the offense tonight. Everyone was producing. What's clicking for this club right now?
We just kept the line moving. We just want to have good at-bats consistently, get guys on base, and then bring them in whenever they get in scoring position.
Now, you looked extremely comfortable in the box tonight. I know you've been putting in that extra work.
Yeah.
Anything differently you noticed tonight?
Just trying to hit the ball hard. I'm not trying to do anything differently. It hasn't been my swing, which I haven't been producing any hits. It's just been more of a pitch selection issue, just going up there and trying to swing at everything, which was getting me in trouble. So just playing my game, being consistent at swinging at good pitches, and good things happen.
You definitely did that tonight. Congratulations on the 3-hit game and the big win.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Alex.
Angels take Game 2 against Kansas City, and it was all about the bats coming alive tonight. Stick around for Angels Live next, right here on Fox Sports West.